I have yet to be like wowed by a Cuban in Tampa. It's very unfortunate. And I know everyone's going to come for my neck. I know.
Are you telling this story?
Yes, please. Please. I understand. But like, this is my lived experience.
They're going to run us out of town when they hear this.
I know.
I'm Delia Colon, and this is The Zest. Citrus, seafood, Spanish flavor, and Southern charm. The Zest celebrates cuisine and community in the Sunshine State. Today, they've got the #1 rated morning radio show in Tampa Bay and a lot of hot takes about food. Morning radio hosts are known for having hot takes, and for many people in Tampa Bay, morning radio means Miguel and Holly. Miguel Fuller and Holly O'Connor are the real-life besties behind the Miguel and Holly Show on Tampa Bay's Mix 100.7 FM. After hosting their show in Florida for many years, the pair moved the program to Charlotte, North Carolina from 2022 to 2025. Now they're back in Tampa Bay, where they debuted at #1, of course, with a renewed love of all things Florida, especially our food. The radio veterans recently visited our studio at WUSF. In this conversation, they discussed what breakfast looks like when their workday starts at 4:30 a.m., the North Carolina foods they would like to see more of in Florida, and the Tampa Bay restaurants they couldn't wait to get back to. Then they offer their hot takes on everything from air fryers to Uber Eats, including an opinion they say could get them run out of town. So here's my conversation with Miguel and Holly. We're sitting here at WUSF Radio. You guys work for a radio station. Some people never listen to the radio, but why do you think terrestrial radio, especially live, like what you guys do, is still relevant?
I think coming back to Tampa Bay has really underscored why terrestrial radio is so important. I've had so many people like you who were like, oh, I stopped listening after you all left. I went to audiobooks. And now since we've come back on the radio, people are like, oh my gosh, I feel like I know what's happening in my city again, because we talk so much about what's happening in Tampa Bay. I mean, even just being a part of the conversation of it's been cold, or if there's something happening with the weather, or one of our sports teams is doing well, you feel like you're a part of a community. And so to me, that has really been underscored and highlighted of us coming back on why terrestrial radio is so important.
It is, because you make these connections with the people that you're hearing in your city, and it really makes you feel less alone. We've always known, and they've done studies, radio is such a companion medium. So people are listening for maybe something, that they're lacking in life, a friend or just someone to keep them company in the car. Less nowadays at home, but, with your smartphone or with, your devices, you can. But especially in the car, it just felt like you had a friend with you. And that's what I love about Miguel and I, is that we leave a seat open for that third person, which is you, the listener. And that's how we have been able to form community, actually, in any city that we go to. But I feel like, Tampa, the roots of Tampa radio run so deep. It's unlike a lot of other cities, because people in Tampa love radio. So it's been really cool.
That is amazing. And it's such a great alternative to the news. I mean, even working here for a news station and producing a food podcast, sometimes we just need a break from the heaviness of the day. And that's kind of why I'm interested in talking to the two of you about food, because it's such a universal subject.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I do feel like you're my friend in my head. So I want to know what my friends are eating.
Absolutely. We are your friend.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So first of all, I woke up this morning. I get up at 5:30, which is earlier than some people, but probably not as early as the two of you. And my first thought today was, I wonder if Miguel and Holly have eaten anything today. Because when you get up so early, your whole rhythm of eating is just off. So can you start by walking me through what meal times look for you? Like, what time do you wake up? How does that affect what you eat, when you eat? Are you cooking throughout the day? Just kind of give me the schedule.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I don't eat breakfast. I used to try to back in the day, and I would bring in some sort of sausage breakfast bowl or something. But then because it gets so repetitive, every time I would try something different, after 2 months, I'd get sick of it. And so now I just consider I'm just fasting for the morning. And that's all I'm doing. And so usually it's around noon or 1 is when I will finally eat something.
What time are you waking up?
Around 3:15 in the morning.
Okay, you're waking up at 3:15, getting to the station at what, like 5?
Around 4:30 or so.
And then what time are you on the air?
And then we're on the air from 6 until 10.
So you're not eating at all?
No.
Okay.
I'm
stressed out for you, but this is your life. You do you.
But, it somehow worked. And a lot of times at iHeart Tampa Bay, they have food all the time.
They bring food in a lot. Well, see, we're still new at iHeart Tampa, and they really do bring food in quite a lot.
Okay, Holly, what about you?
Okay, so I get up a little later than Miguel for various reasons, but my alarm goes off at 4, and then I hit snooze, and then I will take it back to about 2020, because up until then, it was a mishmash of different things. I needed to lose some weight in 2020, and I did actually start an intermittent fasting program that was part of like a broader keto diet thing, and that really worked for me for up until last year. So for 5 years, I was doing kind of similar to Miguel. I was not eating anything other than I would have a coffee, what they call bulletproof coffee with like MCT oil, butter, or you can buy the powder, whatever. I would have that, and that would sustain me to lunch. But recently, that has not sat well with my constitution. It's just not the best anymore. We are getting older. It's fine. So I still do that. I still bring in my bulletproof coffee. But then lately, what I've been doing, about 8:30, I will have a couple of hard-boiled eggs and maybe a few tomatoes, like a little cherry tomatoes. That's like I don't even know where I got that. I'm like, that sounds healthy. Let's do that. And then every day when I would get home, when I do get home, around noon or 1 o'clock, or whenever I do get home, I've had the same lunch for 5 years now, and I will not give it up. I don't get bored like Miguel does. So I'm out here with my Publix chunky white chicken salad and my nut thins, and I just eat that, and that's my lunch.
You're getting a lot of protein, so I love that for you.
A lot of protein. Well, that's all of the leftovers from the keto style diet that I was doing, and which that's great, but then my fiance and I will always cook a dinner. So he's in charge of planning the week, and we take turns cooking, but we'll figure out something fairly healthy to cook for dinner, and we eat early. I'm trying to eat at 5 p.m., okay?
Yeah, blue plate special?
Yeah, yes.
Because what time do you go to bed?
I would like to be in bed at 9, but because I have a 12-year-old who is, wants to go to bed later, I'm sure you understand, I sometimes am not getting into bed until 10, which is also the reason why I don't get up as early as Miguel.
So you all moved your show from Tampa Bay to Charlotte, North Carolina? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm guessing it was like a business decision?
Yeah, it really was. Okay. I mean, there was a lot. It was a very difficult business decision, but ultimately that's what it was.
Well, I think if you are a contract employee, and especially in the entertainment field, every end of a contract, it's sort of like a time to go over your life. And you're like, all right, do I like where I am?
Am I happy?
Am I happy?
With the behind the scenes?
Right, absolutely. And so at that time, our contracts were up, and I feel like everybody was wanting something different after going through the pandemic. So this was 2021 when we were going through this process, when we were trying to figure out what to do next. And like a lot of people, you bent over backwards for your job. And for us, like our show, which is normally 6 till 10, we were on from 6 till noon. Our uncensored podcast that we do off the air, I think, and Holly, I forgot about this. We used to do our podcast just once a month or once a week.
Yeah, once a week. And then we moved it to daily.
And so we were on the air from 6 till noon. And then we would do a hour-long podcast Monday through Friday. And so I just feel like we were tired. And
I feel like I'm tired hearing about it.
Right.
Yeah.
It was a lot. And also, too, like we've spent a lot of years in Tampa Bay. And out of the two of us, I'm sort of like the wanderlust where I'm always like, what's next?
Miguel loves an adventure.
I do. And I was like, when this if the opportunity hadn't have popped up, we wouldn't have gone looking.
No.
But they approached us. And so we were like, well, let's explore it. And the beginning stages of it was like, well, this is not really, we're doing great in Tampa Bay.
And we loved living in Tampa Bay and talking with Tampa Bay every day. It had nothing to do with the city.
And at the time, I was building a house, filming a reality show, and planning a wedding. So I was in no space to change jobs and move.
Right.
But because of everything we just said, and we had deep, deep discussions about it, Holly and I did with our families, and we just decided it was time for a change.
Let's try something.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we did.
So you were there from 2021?
2022 till the fall of 2025.
Gotcha. In Charlotte.
In Charlotte.
And Miguel, you were physically there.
Yes.
And Holly, you had stayed here?
I did, actually. Not a lot of people realize this. It's a surprise. Surprise! The people that did know about it were big listeners of our Uncensored podcast. But when we were working through, this was just one of many things that we did have to work through. I could not physically move my family to North Carolina. First of all, my daughter's father lives in the Tampa Bay area, and that was just a bridge that I didn't even want to cross, both for her sake, his sake, and frankly, he probably wouldn't have let me do it anyway. And I don't blame him, My daughter was, I think, 8 at the time. I think about 8. And can she be put on a plane to go visit dad? No, I don't even want to. No, just no. And also my mom was very sick at the time and was in a nursing home. So I said, listen, I simply cannot. I'm dealing with a lot going on right now. So iHeart was actually very gracious and saying, okay, family first. We still want you as a show. Because I was over here like, Miguel, go on without me. I don't know what I could do. No, but iHeart was like, no, we want the show. So Miguel, for better or worse, picked up everything and moved to Charlotte, and I could not. But what we did was, because of technology nowadays, and we did find out during the pandemic that we could do the show from 2 different areas. I went to the iHeart Tampa Bay studios, and Miguel, of course, was in Charlotte, and the company worked to figure out a way to patch us together, and we would be on Teams seeing each other every day, and we would just do our show exactly the same as we always did, in different studios in different cities.
I had no idea.
And you wouldn't.
Yeah.
Truly, you would never know because it was so seamless. Yeah. I couldn't believe the technology myself.
Wow.
So it's really cool. And we were not vocal about it on air because I certainly didn't want Charlotte listeners thinking, well, why doesn't she want to come to Charlotte? Or anything like that. We didn't want that to be the focal point. So we really didn't bring it up.
There were a couple times we did bring it up, like during hurricane season, when Holly's power would go out, because she'd do the show from home, and then her power would go out. We'd be like, oh, we lost Holly for the rest of the show. So you can't really get around that one.
Surprise, she's actually in Tampa and there's a hurricane happening.
Oh my gosh. This is hilarious.
Yeah.
I had no idea. So I'm assuming you maybe made appearances in Charlotte from time to time.
Absolutely.
You were seen in Charlotte at some point.
Yes.
Okay. So you've probably eaten there. This is a food show. People are like, what's all the backstory? I love a good backstory.
Yeah.
So probably more for you, Miguel, but also you, Holly. Like, what were some of those foods that you discovered in Charlotte that you wish would come to Tampa Bay?
So I'm not a big barbecue person, just because growing up, I had a thing with texture and I didn't like my hands to be messy, and barbecue is just messy and you look kind of ridiculous just eating it with a fork. And so as a kid, whenever we'd have cookouts, I'd be like, I'll just have the hot dog, thank you. But you can't move to North Carolina and not get your hands dirty. So barbecue, surprisingly, which is as basic as it sounds, I love the barbecue there. The barbecue was so good, and you could not walk 5 feet without getting a max speed shop. Another thing that I really enjoyed, which sounds so ridiculous, is I'm a big mayo person.
Oh.
And I never really had.
That doesn't.
I am not.
Oh, that's okay. No,
I know.
Miguel loves mayonnaise.
I do.
Fine.
And here's the thing. I never was loyal to any brand of mayo. I would always say, what's BOGO at Publix?
Right.
And then you can't go to North Carolina and not be a Duke's person. They are Duke's mayo. And so now I'm a Duke's mayo guy because they're living in North Carolina.
Wow. Okay. Sponsorship, Dukes. Come
Right.
on.
Right.
Okay. So did leaving and coming back give you a new outlook on Tampa Bay's food scene? Was there anything here that you missed? I know we've already talked about the Publix subs that you like.
I do love Publix subs. Publix subs are great. Anything Publix, I honestly really love. I think they do a great job at everything. So, that's fine for me.
Yeah, there were a few places that I was just waiting to get back to. Engine number 9, because I love burgers. Burgers is like my favorite thing. And that's also where my husband and I had our first date. And so engine number 9, I was like super excited to get back to. Bella Brava in downtown St. Pete, because that was one of, like, when we first moved to Tampa Bay back in 2011. And I remember, because we were in Panama City before, and I remember going to Bella Brava and saying to myself, I'm in a big city. Like, look at this fancy Italian restaurant. It's on the water.
It is very fancy because it's right on the corner there.
Yes.
And it feels very upscale. It feels very big city.
Right. And so to me, Bella Brava always takes me back to 2011 and just being like, oh my gosh, we're in a big city. I got my first big radio job.
Yeah.
So I was excited to go back to there.
There used to be, I think it was called Armani's, maybe. It was on top of at the very top floor of a hotel in Tampa.
Yes, on the causeway.
Yes. And you could sit up there and see the entire bay, and they had the most iconic charcuterie situation.
Yes, I love a charcuterie situation. They had a brunch. Is that the place that did brunch?
It might have been too.
I might be confused.
I don't know, but here's the thing. We only went for the charcuterie because it was like you could get in this and go and walk around a gigantic glass case and choose different items for your plate. And we would just go for that. It was huge, and it's not open anymore.
Oh, dang.
It was delicious, and it was so perfect sitting there like at a sunset. It was just chef's kiss, and I wish they did have Armani's.
Oh, man. Yeah, I think they call that a grazing table.
Oh, yes.
Walk around and get all the
I loved
good
that.
stuff.
Oh, it was so good.
Okay. Well, since you brought up charcuterie, that leads me to a little sort of game. Okay. I wanted to get your takes because I know morning radio people always have like a hot take.
Yeah.
Okay. So
unfortunately.
I love it, though. I'm calling this overrated, underrated, or just right.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you some food categories, and you tell me if you feel like it has a reputation that is deserved, just right. It's overrated, or you think it's underrated.
Okay.
And Holly, since you brought up charcuterie, that was actually on my list.
Yeah.
So we'll start with that one.
Okay. I think it's just right because it is everywhere. Like there are different ways. People have tried to redesign the charcuterie tray and like they're doing butter boards and everything. It's like the same concept. I don't care how many concepts you want to come at me with. I will have every single one of them. I love a charcuterie tray. I've never seen anyone at any place go, ugh, no thanks. Like it's really the gold star standard for a reason. So I think it gets all the accolades it deserves.
Fantastic. Okay, Miguel, Dubai chocolate, overrated, underrated, or just right?
Okay, so I haven't had it yet, but just for the simple fact that I saw the price on it and I was like, overrated. I'm sorry. We were at TPA, I think, my husband and I were trying to get some snacks. Oh, yes, because we were going to New York. And I was like, oh, let me get you some of this Dubai chocolate. He goes, oh, cool. I looked at the price and it was like $25 or $30 for just a square. And I said, I don't know what this is, but it's overrated.
It's just pistachio, is it not?
I mean, it's pretty good. But I will say, Dubai chocolate at the airport, you're going to have to sell a kidney.
Right.
That's wild.
Right. That's true.
Okay. Holly, avocado toast. Overrated, underrated, or just right?
You know, I feel it's a little overrated. And I almost feel like I get my millennial card taken away for saying that because they associate us millennials with avocado toast. But I do feel like it's overrated. Like, is it good? Yeah. Have I craved it? And no, I really haven't. Like, it's a piece of toast with some avocado mash on it. Sometimes we get crazy and we throw some everything bagel seasoning on it. But like, even then, it's still very simple and plain. I feel like it's gotten a reputation that maybe it doesn't quite deserve.
That's fair. Miguel, what do you think about that?
This is sort of like my little secret I always feel bad about. I don't like avocado, but I'm a very picky person.
Again, this is the foodie, but with limits.
Yes, this is where the limits come into place.
I will eat anything in this tiny box.
Yes. I love everything except for anything that's
exactly. So I've never been a fan of avocado. So I'm going to say it's overrated.
Okay, fair.
Plus, once again, it's way too expensive. When people do get it, and especially if you're at a brunch spot, anywhere in Tampa Bay, if it's over $15 and it's just bread and the avocado,
Well,
that's
those
too expensive.
avocados are expensive sometimes, depending on where they're getting.
$15
Well,
worth?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's overrated too. Yeah.
Okay, Miguel, air fryers.
Just right. I love my air fryer. I have 2, and I want to get a 3rd.
What?
But my husband said that's enough.
Listen here. What are you needing 3 air fryers for?
Okay, hear me out.
Sure.
Ninja has this air fryer it's a glass, but then like the top fryer part, it's smaller than the normal ones we've had. And so you can transport it with you. And so I could air fry my food at work.
Wait.
Yes.
How big is it?
It's not very big at all. Well, they have like 3 different glass sizes of containers that it'll fit on. And so I'm like, this is perfect for lunch situations.
Travel air fryer?
Yes.
I'm actually interested in this because my daughter plays travel volleyball. And when you're in a hotel, I will confess, I have tried to make my own grilled cheese using like wrapping it in foil and then ironing it. It's not great. But
Yeah.
if I could just bring an air fryer, I don't have an air fryer.
You don't?
Maybe you'll give me one of your 3.
Yes. Over here hoarding the air fryers.
If he lets me get that 3rd one, I'll gift you one of
Oh, I would love nothing more.
It is my opinion that every home should have an air fryer.
Okay.
And I get that the people that have not got on board yet are like, what can I do with this that doesn't happen in the oven? Well, I'm gonna tell you, it's easier, ease of use. I think we cook every vegetable in the air fryer, and it's so easy.
And let me tell you, have you ever tried to eat leftover French fries?
Yes.
If you put them in the oven, if you do it in the microwave, they never come out as crispy as they were. Put them in the air fryer, it will change your life.
Okay, that's fair. All right, let's do a couple more. Holly, overrated, underrated, or just right? Cuban sandwiches.
Oh my goodness. Now this is controversial, obviously, because we're dealing with Tampa, right? I think that they're in the middle. I don't think they're over or underrated. I think they get the amount of, respect that they deserve. But I have yet to be like wowed by a Cuban in Tampa. It's very unfortunate. And I know everyone's going to come for my neck. But let me tell you something. When we lived in Panama City Beach for years and years, please, I know.
Are you telling this story?
Yes, please. Please, I understand. But like, this is my lived experience.
They're going to run us out of town when they hear this.
I know. So I apologize in advance to every single place that serves Cubans. However, when we lived in Panama City, there was this gas station on like the corner of some road, and they would do these pressed Cubans with some type of like herbal dressing seasoning of sort on the top, and it was to die for. I would eat it was like a foot-long type of situation. I would eat the whole thing. It was really not good for me, but it was so delicious. So then when we moved to Tampa, I was like, oh, like Cubans, hello. And for some reason, and maybe it's just nostalgia at this point, none of the Cuban sandwiches that I've tried can quite hit that gas station Cuban spot.
There's some good food in gas stations.
Yes.
Sometimes if it's like, the local lore, oh, this place has good fried chicken, or this place you got to get that. This place did Cubans better than I've ever seen. And I'm dying to find it again in a Tampa place. So obviously, I'm going to get deluged with suggestions and people calling me out. And
At
that's
Radio Holly on Instagram.
Please, I understand. I will accept the hate. It's just I can't change my taste buds.
Wow. Have you had one? I'm sorry, not to take over.
No, please, take over.
Have you had the Columbia Cuban there?
I don't know if I had the Cuban at the Columbia. Usually I'm having like the gazpacho or like the paella or something.
We're going to have to go and try it because that
What if I don't like it?
Then we don't talk about it. Then it never happens.
Right. Okay. Noted.
And get the sangria too while you're there.
Oh,
Yes.
absolutely. Love me some of that.
Okay, let's do 2 more. Miguel, food delivery, like Uber Eats, DoorDash, overrated, underrated, or just right?
Evil. It is evil.
It was not
an
I
option.
know. It's just right, but we have gotten too accustomed to it And not only is it so expensive, because we're trying a little experiment, my husband and I, and like not doing it for a couple of weeks just to see how much money we save. And it is insane, the fees that you rack up. And then also too, there are certain foods that travel well and some that don't. And so that's why I do feel bad for restaurants that really stake their claim on quality. It's really hard when your Uber driver, well, first off, if you don't do priority, and so they have like 3 stops along the way. And so by the time your food gets to you, and this is where air fryer comes into place.
I was going to say.
Yes, because then you can heat it up.
Fry those French fries.
Yeah, absolutely. But it does mess with the integrity and the quality of the food. So that's why I only try to do it in a pinch and when it's something really simple.
Right. And I was going to say, too, it's really unfortunate because they jack up the prices. And if you were to just call the restaurant, order it, and go pick it up, it would be probably $10 to $15 less.
And that's what we try to do now.
Yeah. So anyway, it's a necessary evil.
Right.
How about that?
Ooh, I've never used it except for when I was part of a meal train, like sending someone like a bereavement kind of thing.
Right.
And it sounds like I won't be using it.
It's very handy. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
If it's raining, if you don't want to cook, if you're sick,
right,
it's super helpful. That's why I say it's a necessary evil. But yeah, if you start to lean on it, you are spending money that you do not need to be spending.
Okay. All right, Holly, last one. Overrated, underrated, or just right. You pick fruit. This is big in Florida. Have you done this? Maybe with your daughter?
What do you mean?
You go out and pick your own fruit.
I've never done this.
You've never done this.
I feel like it's probably a delight. And maybe it's underrated because I haven't even done it. But
wow.
Yeah, no, I would like to. I'm assuming it's big, like right now, strawberry season. A lot of people out there picking their own strawberries. I mean, let me ask you, what are the types of fruit that you can go do in Florida besides strawberries?
Strawberries are big. Citrus, like you can pick your own oranges, but that's not great for kids because you have to pick up the kid to reach the oranges.
And then they're like,
and then there are like these pliers that they give you to cut it off of the tree, so that's not super kid friendly. But strawberries are great for kids because they can just bend down and get them.
Absolutely. I'm going to say that's underrated because I know that it exists, but I feel like they don't advertise it enough to make you very aware that it's happening when it's happening because it doesn't come across my plate.
Wow.
For lack of a better term,
I feel
or
like
better.
Maybe you two should take a little field trip.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming in. I'll be listening tomorrow, I guess, when I wake up. You'll be at lunch by then.
Well, yeah. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
This was super fun. Miguel Fuller and Holly O'Connor are the hosts of The Miguel and Holly Show on Tampa Bay's Mix 100.7 FM. If you miss any of their show, because I know you like to listen to WUSF News in the morning, you can catch The Miguel and Holly Show as a podcast, and we have a link to it in the show notes of this episode and on our website, thezestpodcast.com. I'm Delia Colon. I produce The Zest with Andrew Lucas and Alexandria Ebron. The Zest is a production of WUSF. Copyright 2026, part of the NPR network.